Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to discuss something that might seem a bit controversial, and I'm not saying that it was a complete failure, but what I am saying is they could have made a lot more money if this didn't happen. So that is Dune's box office, and it has been incredible in the box office, just hitting international records, and it's just incredible, and it's a great film. But what I'm afraid to see is that they're making 200 million plus internationally open weekend, and in the US only made 40 million. 40 million, incredible number, great opening weekend number, but for a film of this magnitude, it could have done way more. And let's look at why it could have done more and why they didn't reach that mark of where they should have, I guess, in the US. And that is all down to streaming. So HBO Max got a hold of this film and they released it along with cinemas. Most people are going to watch on HBO Max. They already have that subscription, so they're not getting the cinema money. That's something that Scarlett Johansson complained about as well with Marvel, with a Disney Plus release, where they don't make as much money from the cinema, so the box office and the percentage that the actors make isn't as much. So I think that's why with streaming services and things of that nature, they should maybe get it a week after a cinema release for a film of this magnitude, because it's the biggest market in the world. The biggest film market in the world is America. And Dune only made 40 million when internationally it made 200 million plus. That shows you something went wrong. If a film opening weekend can make 200 million international, and I know that's multiple countries together, I know that that would obviously mean more people probably going to go watch it, but let's look at the facts of the matter, and that is the US box office is the biggest, and it usually is on par with the international box office for the opening weekend, for a film of this magnitude especially. So that's why I think this only making 40 million in its opening weekend when it has Jason Mamoa, Zendaya, Timothee Chalamet, this film should have been way bigger in America. And I think the same amount of people watched it as they were going to, but it's just a percentage of the people that watched it in America were watching it via HBO Max and were watching it over a streaming service. And I've always had a love-hate relationship with streaming services because they make movies more readily available, and it's obviously great for that. But my big thing is that filmmakers, storytellers give so much of their life to a film, and I feel they need to get as much reward as they can for that story and that project that they poured all their heart into. And when it doesn't get a cinema exclusive release, they don't make as much money as they should. And it's fine for the production team because they've got their deals. They're making their money, probably more money now that it's on a streaming service. But the actual artists, the reason this story exists in the first place, they don't get as much money as they should. And look, I'm not complaining. If I had a 0.05% income from 40 million alone in the US box office, I would be happy. But they can make way more, and they deserve way more because this is an incredible film. They did so well in it, so they deserve to get their money. And so that's why I think streaming services need to be having their debut and their premiere release on their service a week after cinema exclusives. That should be how every film is done. Cinema exclusive, hands down, because it's so sad to see that this film, which is the biggest film of the year, it's been highly anticipated for 2 years now, only made 40 million its opening weekend. It could have made 60, 70 million. I easily think it could have made $70 million opening weekend in America if it was a cinema exclusive release. Now, do I think that that's a box office failure? No. But I think it's a failure for the film in the US box office, hands down, because if they don't make as much money as they could have, that's a failure. Not a failure on the director, not a failure on the actors or anyone involved in telling the story, but a failure on the production team, because that should not have been a HBO Max release along with cinema. It should have been cinema exclusive. And Denis Villeneuve even said this months ago. He was angry that the HBO thing happened. He was angry that that deal happened because it should have been cinema exclusive. He wanted it to be cinema exclusive, and he hates the fact that stories are going down that path of being a streaming service release, and it's really sad to see. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about that. If you guys think that maybe it should have been released cinematically, or you're fine with the whole streaming service thing and you're fine with how it's played out and with the money that they've made, which I'm not saying is bad money. It's amazing money, but nowhere near what I think they could have made if it was a cinema exclusive. So let me know. I'm always interested to hear your thoughts, even if it disagrees with me. I'm always super happy to see those and love to get different sort of opinions that push my opinions and maybe help me grow or see something that I didn't see. So once again, please go comment and subscribe, and thank you so much for listening to another movie news episode. See you guys in the next video.